Hi, and welcome to Libby Presents Ghost News Network. Today is our paranormal topic and discussion. We're going to do something a little bit differently. I want to talk about one of our theories. It's actually called Occam's razor. And I think it's a very important theory that we need to discuss, especially with all paranormal investigators, people that are experiencing paranormal events in their home, and what that actually means. So Occam's razor is very simply saying that all things equal and simplest usually turns out to be true. So Occam was a 14th century English Frisarian friar. He lived from 1285 to 1394, and he posited this this theory that the simplest explanation normally tends to be the right one. And why this is so important when it comes to the paranormal investigator and being out in the field is you want to always look at things rationally first. It's whenever you've taken those rational concepts and you don't come up with an answer for them, that's when you start leaning more into the paranormal. It's just some simple examples. Whenever you're taking photographs and you're getting a lot of dust dots and orbs and things like that in your photography, a lot of that are not true paranormal orbs. Most of that stuff is moisture. A lot of it is dust, pollen, depending on when you're going out. A lot of that stuff plays a huge factor on how your photography will take photos. And a lot of people tend to see these things and they seem to think that this means it's a ghost or it's paranormal. And even in the case of actual true orbs, they're not a unknown phenomenon. Electricians know about these things. They just don't know where they come from. Sometimes these balls of energy will shoot out of sockets. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that a ghost isn't present, but it also is not a spirit in a true sense. What that could possibly mean is that energy is out there for it to absorb and help itself manifest, but it's not necessarily paranormal in nature. Rare, but not paranormal. Now, another thing is, as an example, if you have a Nokia camera, like some of those high SLR cameras or DSLR cameras, and you look in your book, in the back it actually says in their manual how, but due to the high quality of the photos and the high pixel rate, that it'll actually create moisture and dust, so you'll actually see them more frequently in the photos, which is why a lot of us paranormal investigators prefer to use 35mm. It's not so high resolution that it's going to give you those false positives. Again, it's not to say that an orb doesn't mean something paranormal can occur. It just means that, you know, there are other factors involved. If it's not self-illuminating, it's not a true orb. If it's got a ring around it and you see stuff inside and you're looking at it and you say, oh, I see a face in here, 9 times out of 10, that's called matrixing. It's your brain trying to process what's happening and what it's looking at, and so it makes something that you're familiar with. Just as an example, when people lay down on the floor and look up at the sky and the clouds and they see, oh, I see a dragon in this cloud and I see that. That's just how your brain processes basically nonsense information and tries to make it understand in your head what you're seeing. So it'll equate something that you're familiar with. A lot of these things are very important, and other things with Occam's razor. And this kind of leads into debunking, and it's one of the main things that we look into whenever we're doing an investigation. You hear creaks in your house and things like that. Is your house settling? You hear loud bangs in your house. Is there air running through your pipes in your home and your pipe is loose? It's not secure properly, so whenever, you know, pressure goes through, it just bangs up against the wall, whether that be you know, gas heat running through your house or something like that. A lot of these factors are very important to know whenever you're investigating, because the last thing you want to do is put out evidence that can easily be dismissed. And a skeptic is a skeptic. They're always going to be naysayers, and that's fine. That's why I say you don't have to be a skeptic or a believer. You just have to be open-minded. You got to be able to take all the information and think rationally about it. So yeah, that's Occam's razor. It's a really great topic. If you want to learn more about it or anything else on our website, you can go to www.liparanormalinvestigators.com. Under our theories section, there is a whole thing on Occam's razor. There's a whole write-up about it. But yeah, so whenever you're investigating the paranormal, please always remember Occam's razor. The simplest answer is most likely the true answer. And if that's not it, then we're off and running to a good investigation. So thank you guys very much for joining us for this latest edition of Paranormal News and Discussion. If you liked what you've heard, give us a like, please comment and subscribe. If you don't have yet, please click the little notification bell on the lower right hand side of this video. This way you get updated on all information Long Island Paranormal Investigators. So again, thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, take care guys.